that the rapid acceleration in the value of the US dollar, which appreciated more than 80% against the currencies of its major trading partners, was the primary culprit. The rising value of the U.S. dollar created enormous trade deficits, hurting many different economies. At the meeting in the Plaza Hotel, the United States persuaded other attending countries to coordinate a multilateral intervention, and on September 22, 1985, the Plaza Accord was implemented. This agreement was designed to allow for a controlled decline of the dollar and the appreciation of the main anti-dollar currencies. Each country agreed to changes to their economic policies and to intervene in currency markets as necessary to weaken the value of the dollar. The United States agreed to cut its budget deficit and lower interest rates. France, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Japan agreed to raise interest rates. Germany also agreed to tax cuts, while Japan agreed to let the value of the yen fully reflect the underlying strength of the Japanese economy. However, one major problem was that not every country adhered to their pledges made under the Plaza Accord. The United States, in particular, did not follow through with its initial promise to cut the budget deficit. Japan was severely hurt by the sharp rise in the yen, as its exporters were unable to remain competitive overseas, and it is argued that this eventually triggered a 10-year recession in Japan. The United States, on the other hand, enjoyed considerable growth and price stability as a result of the agreement. The effects of the multilateral intervention were seen immediately, and within less than 2 years, the dollar fell 46% and 50% against the German Deutschmark and the Japanese yen, respectively, as shown in figure became far more export-oriented as a result, while other industrial countries like Germany and Japan assumed the role of major net importers. This gradually resolved the current account deficits for the time being, and also ensured that protectionist policies were minimal and non-threatening. But perhaps most importantly, the Plaza Accord cemented the role of the central banks in regulating exchange rate movement. Yes, the rates would not be fixed, and hence would be determined primarily by supply and demand, but ultimately, such an invisible hand is insufficient, and it was the right and responsibility of the world's central banks to intervene on behalf of the international economy when necessary. George Soros, the man who broke the Bank of England when George Soros placed a $10 billion speculative bet on the UK pound and won. He became universally known as the man who broke the Bank of England. Whether you love him or hate him, Soros led the charge in one of the most fascinating events in currency trading history. Here are the details. The UK joins the exchange rate mechanism in 1979. A Franco-German initiative set up the European Monetary System (EMS) to stabilize exchange rates, reduce inflation, and prepare for monetary integration. The exchange rate mechanism, one of the EMS's main components.